No, nothing yet. I think there's some speeches and introductions, and then I'll be introduced. It's Steve from the Gloucester Job Centre, isn't it?
Yeah, another triplets.
Oh, there's a vote in the Commons. I hope Will's there.
Didn't turn up for GT Minister in recess. I was in a vote 5 minutes after it started.
That's because they're checking who's there. Might also check there, but they do that sometimes to check which minister's there, and the Oppo wants to know how many people are there as well. the Teams camera is totally different to the all the cameras are different, so you can't put your papers up. I think it'll be any minute.
Kickstart scheme where allowing young people to get 6 months work experience paid for by the government. That, to me, that's an extraordinary scheme. You know, we're going to be applying to take on 8 people as a result of that program. And for those of you who are from employers, if you haven't looked at it in any kind of detail, this isn't really me trying to sell the government program. It's a complete no-brainer to take all these people. We would not be taking on. We've had to make cutbacks. We've had to cut off. We lost about £5 million during the lockdown, and that obviously restricts what we're able to do. And when we restrict what we're able to do, it restricts what goes on in the local community. So this program is actually bigger than just giving 8 young people work experience and us being able to do so. It's actually going to enable us to get back on our feet more quickly than otherwise would be the case. So if you haven't looked at it yet, I would urge you to do that. And thank you very much for that. And finally, I just want to welcome you all to King's Home. We're used to slightly bigger crowds than this. I'm pleased to say that we are going to be able to have a crowd of 1,000 people that are going on Monday, and hopefully that's the start of being able to welcome people back generally. But for today, you're very welcome. We're very pleased to see you all. Thank you.
That is a great start. 9 Kickstarters coming to Gloucester Rugby alongside. As well as all the other jobs that Lance was mentioning in the video. And I hope today there will be opportunities for all of you as employers to put up your hands for Kickstarters, and for some of you to do what Rich Lee has been doing, which is to offer his services as an intermediary. And we now, I think I'm right in saying, we're joined virtually by my colleague Mims Davis, MP, who is going to appear magically on the screen. Mims, a very good morning to you. The Minister for Employment joining the Gloucestershire Job Skills and Apprenticeships Lift Off. And Mims, what I thought we would do to give you a tiny bit of a feel for what's happening here in Gloucestershire is to invite 3 people to come and say very briefly what they see as the overall situation. So first of all, I'm going to ask David Owen, Chief Executive of the G1st LEP, to give his overall quick sense of business in Gloucestershire today. David, welcome.
Thank you, Richard. So, as you know, many of you from businesses have seen a real struggle over the last 6 months. We've seen a huge variety in how businesses have been affected by everything that's happened in the last 6 months. So, our engineering businesses have been in a difficult position, particularly if they export lots of their product. On the other hand, our cyber and our digital businesses have been doing incredibly well because we've all moved to more of a virtual world. And of course, hospitality and tourism has really suffered hugely with the impact of social distancing and the impact that has on a number of people that can get in through the doors, even though they're now open. So the headline figures for Gloucestershire are that unemployment has gone up for over the last 6 months. We've had 93,500 people who have benefited from the furlough scheme. That's just under 25% of our working population in Gloucestershire who've had 80% of their salaries paid for by the government. And obviously that's a worry as the furlough scheme starts to come off over the course of the next couple of months. Our predictions show that unemployment could increase in Gloucestershire somewhere between 26,000 and 49,000 people over the course of the next 12 months. That takes us to somewhere between 7% and 13% unemployment for Gloucestershire, which is absolutely unheard of. We've been at a steady state of somewhere around about 1.5% to 2% for around 10 years. The worst rate got in 2009 was just over 5%, about 5.3%. So you can see the considerable impact that COVID is going to have in the longer term. And that's why events like today are so important. It's also why I hate this to sound like a Kickstarter promotion, but actually it should be. A Kickstarter program is a very good one, and certainly one that we'll be working with our brokers to make sure that we can be an intermediary to promote Kickstarter and get as many young people into opportunities in employment, get that experience that they're going to need as we start to come out to the other side of the current crisis and we start to see more jobs being created. I'd also like to say thank you very much, Richard, for coordinating today's event and bringing everybody together. I think it's a really important start on that journey back to recovery and restart our economy in Gloucestershire. So thank you, Richard.
Thank you. Thank you. I also want to invite up in a moment or two Carol Stubbs from the Job Centre Plus and Belinda Wilson from Gloucestershire. But I'm conscious that the Employment Minister has got a limited amount of employment time to spend with us today before charging on to her next visit. So, members, at this stage, with that sort of brief background from David A, can I welcome you virtually to Kingshead Stadium, where I hope you'll have a chance to come and watch one of Lance's games here one day, but to join us at the Glos Lift Off and share with us your thoughts on the situation of the Kickstarter programme. Ladies and gentlemen, Vince Davis, Employment Minister.
Thank you, Richard, and good morning, everybody. And I'm so delighted to be opening this fantastic event and joining you all. I bet, yes, it is sadly virtually. And I'd really like to start by thanking all the speakers and everybody who's put today together, as well as Richard and all his fantastic team who are leading this exciting initiative to boost employment and skills and opportunities in Gloucestershire. Richard is a fantastic local MP, helping us deliver our plan for jobs and lead this important local recovery. And Richard is passionate about helping people and changing lives, and he's an absolute pleasure to work with. And so it's brilliant to see all of this on display this morning. So it's really great to see localised community-led response to COVID-19 as we move forward, creating tailored solutions and bringing together a wide range of local organisations, because this is vital. Because what works for one community or local labour market might not be right for another. And importantly, people need to know what support is available right now and be signposted. So Glos Lift Off does exactly that. And I know there's a lot of young people here today who are attending the event, and that also is fantastic. I really do hope that you leave with a better understanding of what's happening across the county to help you into employment, because there's some really great work going on. Now, since I took up my position at DWP, I've introduced a new tagline for us: jobs, community and progression. And that's because I am passionate about empowering our local work coaches across our nationwide network of job centres to work in partnership with local organisations. And we will be recruiting more in this area, new work coaches, at the end of this month. So do look out for those adverts if you'd like to join us. Now, our work coaches know what works, and we're behind a record employment figure at the beginning of this year. If we think that back, that really wasn't that long ago. And they are very much at the heart of our plan for jobs as we look to rebuild our economy. Local tailored support is an area that I have strived to improve and focus on at DWP, putting job centres at the heart of their communities, boosting confidence for job seekers and supporting them to be helped to tackle any barriers. And that's why we're investing £150 million in our flexible support fund. Now, this will enable those with the local know-how to put it in the right place and put that support right there where it's needed. Now, that's going to include our new youth hubs, which is part of our youth offer, which is springing up and growing across the country. And they're already providing crucial outreach to our young people in a range of settings, such as local colleges, because we must ensure that those in need of our help can really easily access it. And I know that we'll be shortly asking for local providers to put themselves forward to work in a new partnership. That's with our DWP job centres as well, in a new job finding support service, so that we can get people back into work and building those vital skills quicker. Now, this is a new digital service tailored one-to-one, providing job finding support, and I'm hopeful that will get off the ground in October. Now, for any young person right now considering their options, we've increased our DWP sector-based work academy programmes, and these help local job centres who are receiving unemployment benefits to prepare for work with up to 6 weeks of training and work experience. Now, importantly, all these programmes are linked to genuine vacancies and opportunities, and our participants are guaranteed an interview at the end, so it's really worth taking part. Now, partnerships such as our sector-based work academy programme with Gloucestershire County Council is vital. It's called Proud to Care, and we have seen several job seekers interview very recently with local employers, which is fantastic news. And I really hope that each and every one of them has that positive outcome. And I also know that locally we've held mentoring circles. These are really crucial, and those are with Glos Jobs and the NHS, helping people with their job search and that journey which can perhaps at the moment feel long into employment. Now, Steve from our local job centre, hello Steve, I can't see you, but I know that you're there and the team. Thank you for supporting the event today, and I would love to encourage everyone to chat to him amongst others afterwards to find out more about this locally led work and perhaps how you could get involved in mentoring circles. But ultimately, by empowering and catalysing our DWP outreach in local communities such as this, we can all really make a difference, regardless how small we think our actions are. And this is all part of our plan for jobs, a £30 billion plan for jobs, which is critical to the future of individuals and businesses, as we do look to crucially boost confidence and look to build back better. And last week, I know, and I'm delighted to hear you already talking about it, we launched the new £2 billion Kickstarter scheme, which will create hundreds of thousands of new fully subsidised roles for our young people right across the country. And I'm incredibly proud of the work that my officials and team have been putting so many hours to make this happen and make this scheme possible. It's going to change the lives of our 16 to 24-year-olds on universal credit who are looking to get that first foothold on the career ladder. And it will benefit local businesses with that opportunity to get untapped, transformational local talent. recruitment. Now, regardless of your size of business or the number of people that you are currently looking to recruit, we are urging businesses across the country to get involved and apply for this funding. An invitation I absolutely want to extend also to everyone here today. So from SMEs or micros to big national employers and all organisations, this scheme has been designed to meet your local needs. And it is, as I say, mutually beneficial, providing new access to that enormous pool of potential and enabling our young recruits to get that crucial experience and skills which are going to help them boost their long-term career credentials. Now, for the young people listening who may be eligible or interested, do watch this space. Our first placements will start in November and we'll be running this till the end of next year. So if you're not quite ready as a business, your time will definitely come and we will need you as we create waves of new opportunities for our young people. But in the meantime, we could all share this important focus on doing as much as we can to promote all the opportunities that we've got in our local area. So it's really great to get and be part of Glos Lift Off and help you get underway this morning. There's going to be some detailed sessions later on learning new skills, networking with local businesses and improving people's job search, all being made available despite any barriers or background you have. And well done, Richard and all the team, in the amount of people you've got there and being sold out. That's brilliant. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of insight on how effective this local outreach can be from other speakers today. Because we're doing as much as we can, especially as the government. It's vital that we do build on the strong foundations that we did have in the labour market before this health emergency, so that we can really push the road to economic recovery. And I do want to assure you that the government is committed to effectively and efficiently delivering this £30 billion plan for jobs. And this will be driving thousands of personal stories of renewal and helping Britain to get back to work by building back better and greener. And you'll have a chance to hear more about the diverse offerings that we've got across government for our young people, and more about Kickstart and apprenticeships and traineeships and other areas that we can support people to get going from Gillian, my fellow minister, later today. So I'm delighted that you've got that kind of support here, Richard, and everybody who's put this together. So have a fantastic event. I hope it's a huge success for you, driving recovery in the local labour market. And I'm delighted to open this event and take any questions. Thank you very much.
Minister, great, thank you for that. There's a huge amount happening, as everybody can hear. And I think what would be a really helpful starting point while people in the audience are thinking of their questions is if you just want to say a few words about how the intermediaries for the Kickstarters are going to work. I think people have broadly got the idea that they're going to be consolidated into groups of a minimum of 30 applications for Kickstarters. How is the role of intermediary going to work, and what sort of businesses and employers make ideal intermediaries? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. And this scheme is so important. So let's pare it back. It's 6-month job placements for young people on universal credit or at risk of long-term unemployment. And through our youth hubs, and we're going to have our new youth employability work coaches, all young people, whether you're deferring or whether you are that person who is perhaps at 16 leaving care, we're going to have the opportunities by working with your work coach and working with local businesses to find that opportunity for you. And that's why we do need those intermediaries. We're busy doing our business as usual at DWP, and we do need to have people helping us with the a wraparound care with the additional training needs that our young people. So you get £1,500 per person available to cover any extra costs that you have as an employer, and any organisations acting as intermediaries for smaller employees will be paid £300 per placement. And I'm very aware that people running their own businesses or pushing things back in terms of their businesses, have got a lot on, and actually this is why we want them to have that opportunity to link up with work coaches, local DWP and those intermediaries, to make it easy for you to carry on with the day job but find that right young person. And it is different to the furlough scheme. It's not a question of just applying for that money for 6 months and then we'll see you later. It is about going through the interview process with that young person, making sure that you're linked in with their work coach, because above all, this is 6 months, but we want them to be on the road to long-term employment. And intermediaries are really important to this, because in all the engagement that I did around Kickstart and the department across the summer, I did about 330 engagements with mayors, LEPs, local authorities, business forums, chambers, you name it. One of the things that was very clear is, although a top-down approach in terms of support was welcome, a way of doing it, people wanted to have that say locally and to link into their local labour market. So it gives us a way of doing that. I'm delighted the British Chambers of Commerce have coming forward. Yesterday I heard about people in the golf sector, I mean as in playing golf, as in sport. I heard people in the roofing and construction sector, all different trade bodies coming forward to help those smaller businesses and get those young people into their sectors and future-proof their businesses. So for me, this is really important. We'll obviously keep it under review if there is particular challenges of people getting involved as people come together with their groupings. We fully understand that. We'll get the work placements underway in November, but as I say, we're looking at waves of starts, which works with you, your business and local recoveries, and you can apply for that young person and be part of this up until December next year. So you know, it's not a huge rush. If you're not ready right now, that your time can come.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, questions. I've put a microphone on this chair, and we've got a thing of Tesco wipes beside it. So can I encourage any of you who've got any questions, come up, seize the mic, say who you are, and put the question. I think the Minister will be able to see you and hear you at her end. So don't be shy. Come on, Rich, come and tell us about what you're going to do on the interview. Right, I'll take your mask off.
Sorry, everybody. Is it working?
You switch the button.
There it is. Working? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me? Fantastic. My name's Richie. I run Radioactive PR, a company in the city. We work with companies all around, well, actually, a lot of national stuff recently, especially during COVID. And I have set up, as soon as I heard about this last week, and as it's been touched on, it's an absolutely fantastic scheme. And I was employed, and this is an opportunity to find talent that you probably won't find in the typical ways that we recruit. So I set about starting a kind of Gloucestershire Kickstart Collective. We're roughly about 20 people, 20 placements offered right now, which means that I guess the question for you is, for me, hopefully I can get to that 30. But what about people that are starting consortiums and collectives that possibly, you know, they don't know quite how to get to 30? Because it is a big number. It's you know, it's basically me cajoling, you know, jiving, kind of going around all my business contacts and saying, hey, you want one person, 2 people? You know, I'm offering 5 placements, and it's really, how do you get past that magic number?
Okay. No, and I think that's a really fair question, and thank you so much for what you've already done. That's absolutely brilliant. There'll be a way to link into our local partnership team. We've got our national partnership teams working with employers to get those larger numbers. Obviously, we've got to go through the different bids and check the different intermediaries. So, you know, part of this is just trying to cut down some of that so that we can get the young people into the roles quickly. But the best way is to put that expression of interest through our local Kickstart email contact, which will link into our local partnership team, and they are pulling together other people in similar boats. And once you've got, you know, 20 together, that's brilliant. Bring that forward to us and we can help you get towards 30. 30 was a number that in the previous incarnation, very different actually, of what was called the Future Jobs Fund that we had, but that was much less about business. It was more about charities, organisations and and other public sector organisations. This one is very much about those smaller businesses, larger businesses, and all the other sectors coming together. So for me, I understand the challenge. Tell us what you've got. We'll work with you to get to 30, and we're currently, reviewing this. We don't want people to feel that the process is locking them out. As I tried to explain earlier, it's far from that. It's to try and help you build those networks, those opportunities, and understand that local labour market for our young people as things go forward. And we certainly want to hear from you if you've already got that level of interest, and we'll work with you to get over the line and do everything we can to get those people into those placements.
Thank you, Minister. And the great news is that Carol Stubbs-Yen, who's going to be waving at the cameras, is the Employment Manager at Job Centre Plus, and it's precisely the person Minister Davis was referring to as the local coordinator. So read Carol afterwards. Stephen Marston from the University of Gloucestershire and Andy Bates from Gloucester.
Good morning, everybody. I hope the technical white has microphone. Seems to be okay. Minister, thank you very much for your introduction. I'm Stephen Marston, Vice Chancellor at the local university here in Gloucestershire. So first, a comment. The good news from my point of view is that recruitment at the university is up more than 10% this year compared with last year. So our core purpose is to help young people and mature students get the skills and qualifications that they need, helping people get the high-level skills, the ability to contribute to knowledge-intensive, innovative businesses up and down the county. And at the other end of our day, we've then got our new graduates going out into a really, really difficult labour market. So we did manage to put all of our teaching, our student services, our assessments and exams online. Our students have graduated this year, but boy, have they graduated into a really difficult labour market. So part of our focus now is how we help them. Graduates can also qualify for Kickstart, is kind of where I'm going with this, because graduates who will need that help, and I think this could be a really good scheme, and we will be certainly pointing our graduates towards Kickstart. Final point, what we're also doing is trying to offer new opportunities for everybody who loses their job in Gloucestershire, so that they can go on to a postgraduate course to give them qualifications in areas like fintech, cybersecurity, HR management. They can enroll on the MBA, and we're giving them a 20% discount on the fees. So lots we think that we're trying to do to help build skills, but the critical one, if you could help us and confirm this, is new graduates going into a difficult labour market can still qualify. Thank you.
No, thank you for raising it, and so many interesting points and important issues that you raise. I think there's a couple of things that I'd like to respond to in this. In terms of the challenge in the labour market for graduates, you're absolutely right, and it sounds like you're doing a brilliant job of bringing through some amazing, talented candidates that people are going to have their chance to get their hands on and get into their businesses. And there is a chance here for us to fix some of the structural problems in our economy, and certainly those particular sectors where we know that we haven't been able to fulfil the needs of those sectors. And that's where our sector-based work academy programme comes in brilliantly. I recently went to Kennington Job Centre in London. They were working with people with a logistics and retail and fashion background, helping them to understand and recognise that their skills could be pivoted into construction logistics, and were getting roles and opportunities that they never thought that they had the skills that could pivot across there. So I think this is really important, this next stage, in terms of helping people understand about the fact that it's going to be a life of jobs, that we need to get as much skills, ability and confidence to take forward, that we might actually have to do some roles that aren't normally our dream roles, but maybe to make ends meet and help with that recovery and win the hearts and minds of everybody at every stage in their career, to maybe have to knuckle down and do stuff that maybe is not their favourite, but it's going to pay the bills as they wait for their sector to recover. On the specific issue around graduates, and this is something that we're trying to balance, and I've been working with Michelle Donnellan, the Universities Minister, very strongly on this, is about how we protect Kickstart for those people who are most at risk of long-term unemployment, where their network, their skills and ability is the least strong, but also how we then absolutely help those graduates that you've described. And that's where our employability work coaches focused on young people will come into play. That's where our youth hub focus will come into play, and that's where our work coaches will come into their own. It's that individualized, tailored support. So predominantly Kickstart on the early phase is for people at risk of long-term unemployment on universal credit, but I don't want people going on universal credit so they can get onto Kickstart. So we're looking at how we can work with those people individually, whether it's traineeships, apprenticeships, sector-based work academies, that a new support that I spoke about, which is digitalised, and where we're going to be bringing in the recruitment sector as well. So as part of the plan for jobs, we've got an array of different interventions, no matter where you are in your career, that we at DWP, working with local authorities, LEPs, recovery boards and events like this, will try to make sure that there's a signposting opportunity.
Our role, and obviously a lot of our students at Gloucestershire College are on apprenticeships, and unfortunately we've seen a significant reduction in the number of employers willing to offer apprenticeships this year, and it's really, really worrying. My question really is how do you see the Kickstart linking with apprenticeships, and how we make sure that we don't lose those young people that go to Kickstart, make sure we're able to offer skills alongside the employment. And how we can smoothly link those Kickstarters onto apprenticeships with those employers, and how we can do that in the easiest way and work together, really.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely right. You know, we don't want to sort of cannibalise apprenticeships, for want of a better phrase, or traineeships. That Kickstart needs actually to be a way to lead into those, and as apprenticeships come back, that there's more of them, and we've got the right young people ready for them. And we recognise that young people's employment prospects are going to be disproportionately affected as we go forward, and that's why our sector-based work academy approach and other areas, mentoring circles, is going to be absolutely key, and that's where our youth hubs come into play as well. So when you hear from Minister Keegan later today, I'm sure she'll be very keenly and jealously protecting and pointing out what benefits we've boosted in terms of apprenticeship opportunities and how employers can still bring them forward, because we are absolutely clear that this needs to work across all the piece for our young people and to support people as they leave colleges. So I'm absolutely with you on that, and that's why we'll make sure that working with work coaches and across government departments that we support all of these options, because tailored interventions for our young people is absolutely right, and it will come down to the needs of that young person and what they can bring to the employer. But apprenticeships, as you'll find later from the minister who started one herself and is absolutely passionate about them, she will be absolutely doing everything she can to help people bring them forward and get people on them.
Fantastic. Minister, thank you very much for joining us today. I think there's masses of food for thought. I'm sure there are lots of other questions that haven't yet been asked, but will be discussed shortly amongst all of ourselves here in Gloucestershire. We're going to hear in a moment or two a bit more from Job Centre Plus locally to build on what Minister has said, and then from from Belinda Wilson to get a quick update on what the job situation in Gloucestershire is. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, can we thank Minister Liz Davies very much for coming. Thank you. Can I now invite Carol Stubbs, the Employment Manager of Job Centre Plus, to build a little bit on what Ms. Davis was saying and how her team may be able to work with all of you suppliers, Kickstarters and other opportunities. Carol, welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Morning, everybody. It's working out fine. I am shy. Basically, I was asked if I could come up with the figures for our employment in Gloucestershire, or Gloucester actually, in fact. It is actually at the moment 5,803 customers on the universal credit in Gloucestershire. Just to give you a bit of an intensive perspective here of what it was in February, it was 2,624. So huge jump. Having said that though, there have been some positive figures coming out. People are going into work, they are actually going into work. You know, we've got people that are going back to their self-employed jobs, and we've got people that are working part-time. So people are going into work, and we are seeing a decrease. Obviously, I think a lot of the things that I had said here, the minister's already spoken about, so apologies for that. But we are doing the recruitment. We are having a big recruitment, and that will be coming out the vacancies for Gloucestershire the end of September, beginning of October. So they'll be coming out shortly. Obviously, we have to be aware of social distancing in the offices, the size of our offices. We haven't got big offices, so it's trying to fit people in. You know, perhaps the work coaches will have to go at home, and that's what we've been doing already. So, you know, there'll be more of that. So we're all having new IT equipment and everything back to cover. As far as the Kickstart is concerned, we were all really pleased to sort of have that come to our door. So really pleased to sort of act as an intermediary for you. If you want to come and speak to us later, we are just along the corridor. Come in and talk to us. Socially distanced, of course, but you know, we're taking people's names, their contact details. There's no, you know, commitment at the moment, but we will try and we'll arrange a Teams meeting for everybody that's interested. So that's the plan. Is in a couple of weeks' time, we're taking all people's contact details and what details how many people they would like. There's no commitment at the moment. You just come in, we'll join in with the Teams meeting, and we'll take your request and see if we can get things moving. I mean, we're really excited about this in the job centre. You know, to have jobs, you know, that are going to be paid for, it's a good idea for us. So we're trying to look and see what we can do with the sector-based work academy, so that we can have those starting off, so that people are a little bit more job ready. So we'll be talking to the colleges and the providers that can do our training for us. So very excited about it.
Carol, thank you. And so, for example, for Gloucester Rugby, who committed to 8 Kickstarters, I'm trying to increase the number as last week. But 8 is a very good start. So Gloucester Rugby can come to you, and you will be able to help bundle that into one application of more than 30. Brilliant. And Richard's got his 20. So again, if he wants to work with you to build that up to the 30, you can do that. How many other people in the audience? Quick show of brave hands. We are in the home of the brave. How many other people in the audience would like to take on some Kickstarters in their organisation? That is fantastic. Look at that. That's 8 hands up already. Can I encourage you all to be in touch with Carol as we finish this event to register your interest? But that suggests to me that you've got at least another 8 Kickstarters in the audience and probably more. So that is really encouraging. Carol, thank you very much for that. Everyone will want your contact details, so please find Carol. Can I now invite Belinda Wilson of Glos Jobs to come and join us? You've been working in the job sector since you created Glos Jobs, and we were talking on the train yesterday evening about the current situation. Will you brief us all a little bit on how you see things and what the jobs there are?
Yes, I'm very happy to do that. Thank you. So I've been running the Glos Jobs website for 20 years, so I've got quite a unique insight into what's going on really in these current times.